Anybody can take it.
All right, call the meeting to order. Mr. Dillon, you lead us in the pledge, please.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First item on the agenda is to approve our agenda.
Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This time we'll open the meeting up for any public comment. Does anyone wish to address the commission this morning on any topic that isn't on the agenda? Out there online or on the phone, nobody in the room. We'll move on. Public hearing on transfer of following alcohol licenses.
Notice of hearing upon application for sale of alcoholic beverages. Notice is hereby given according to South Dakota Codified Law 35-2-5. A public hearing on the transfer of a retail on-sale liquor license from Travis Swenson, doing business as Elm Lake Resort, to transfer license located at 37594 102nd Street, Frederick, Palmyra Township, Lot 1, Elm Lake Resort, Southeast 8, 128-65 of the 5th PM, Brown County, South Dakota, to Monica Hansen, doing business as Drop Time Resort, located at 37594 102nd Street, Frederick.
Is there anyone here to speak to this transfer? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay. Also, a transfer of a package off-sale liquor from Travis Swenson, doing business as Elm Lake Resort, to transfer license located at 37594 102nd Street, Frederick, Palmyra Township, Lot 1, Elm Lake Resort, Southeast 8, 128-65 of the 5th PM of Brown County, to also Monica Hansen, doing business as Drop Shine Resort, located at 37594 102nd Street, Frederick.
Is there anyone here to speak to this transfer? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, Bob Schatz to discuss Aberdeen Homeless Coalition outreach. Good morning, Bob.
Thank you, Dwayne. I brought two people. Come on, I'll grab chairs right here, guys. I want to introduce Kathy Zur and Jamie Shaw, and they're with the Homeless Coalition. There is a Aberdeen Homeless Coalition in town, and but they also have something called an outreach, and they're going to tell you a little bit about the outreach because that's what they do, is outreach. It's all volunteer. Kathy's part of the Homeless Coalition. She's part of the leadership team, but they're here to tell you a little bit something you guys might find interesting on the outreach. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, thanks for having us today. Just to kind of explain the Homeless Coalition, there are two parts of it. We educate the public that there is a homeless issue in Brown County, kind of what we're doing today. We go out and speak. And then the second part is that we reach out to the individuals that are homeless or at risk of being homeless in the surrounding area and try to build relationships, build trust with them so that we can get them into our offices to start working with them to improve their life situation. The reason, like Bob's mentioned, it is volunteer. The outreach part, the Homeless Coalition, it's all volunteer. It's made up of many individuals, organizations, government organizations, churches, private citizens in town that we come together once a month and meet at the library. If any of you are interested, the next meeting is listed on the sheet that I gave you. We always meet the last Tuesday of the month. But I guess personally why I am motivated to do it, I do have a son that is homeless. We actually serve him on outreach on Wednesday nights when we find him. And so it's what motivates me to get up and get out and meet the people. You never know how just talking with someone, giving someone a little bit of hope, a little bit of light in their life could just change the trajectory of their whole being. So really I want to introduce you to Jamie Shaw, and he's going to tell you the story of how someone that maybe spoke a few words to him one day can really make a difference in your life. And I guess that's kind of the Homeless Coalition. We're out there on Wednesday nights. We go out at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., which usually means that I get home at about 12:31 in the morning, because we're out serving the people, and we would really want them to know that we see them, we care about them as a community.
Hi, Jamie Shaw, guys. Honestly, thank you for every second of your time. I get to sit here today, super proud, get to be back part of the community. It all comes down to this, I think it's our message every week and mine for life, is that taking 1 second just to simply realize that somebody is worthwhile and somebody cares about them goes so far. I was raised by awesome parents. Grandfather was head of the school board for many years. Raised by teachers, had amazing career in sports. Needless to say, I had a great upbringing. Everything was great and fine until, of course, things go wrong. Back in March of 21, I was ready to give up. I'd been literally like wandering the streets for about a year and a half, 2 years. I had worked through this time, but there's a lot of things that come into it. There's addiction reasons. There's reasons people don't want to go in and to an office once they're so far down and out. I got to the point where my family had to say, Jamie, we can't want you back. We've got to set you down. We're going to separate you from everything. We just have to distance ourselves. That was probably one of the best things that happened to me, also the hardest. Until a year and a half later, I sit down at a lunch table, ready to give up. It's snowing, half raining. It was just an odd March storm. Needless to say, I'd been outside sleeping. I'm alone. I don't have friends. I don't have family. I have nothing. I'm just embarrassed, tarnished, the whole nine. I happened to sit down at a lunch table, and somebody simply sat next to me. Just like my angel at the lunch table. Said nothing more to me than, glad you're here today. That right there was everything. So come into my office. That to me was the beginning of the outreach. She didn't have to. I didn't have an appointment. I sat down and she said, come into my office. Going to her office. It got to about 25 below zero that night. I still slept outside. There's no, hey, here's a hotel room. What's that going to do for anyone? One night. Nothing. Let's save those for the women and children. That was single-handedly the warmest night I had slept in years, simply due to the fact that I knew that the next morning somebody cared about me. There was a program set in place for me. Now all I had to do was get my butt up in March, get it done, and I did. And I slept outside for weeks after this point, but constantly working towards something, all those values that were in me, that were my grandfather and grandmother instilled in me, but ultimately those were on the wayside. And for whatever reason, you can touch a stove 1,000 times. You know it's hot. Parents tell you it's hot. Eventually somebody, a stranger, says, hey, don't touch that stove. And you stop. Why is that? We don't know. This is the meaning of outreach. We go out, we see these people, we get to talk to them, and we've touched more than a few already. I mean, more than a few. We see people in a house continuing jobs, have their children back in their life, healthy, happy. We get to visit them. We still stop in. And just to say hi, just to give them a good check-in. But without that simple outreach that was given to me, I wouldn't be here. I'd be dead. I would have overdosed. Something bad would have happened to me, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that day, somebody cared about me. And till I lay to rest, I will be out. I will do this. Whether it's with this coalition or another, this city or another. This city's my town, my home. I thought the city gave up on me, and to see everybody come together, it's been the most amazing thing. Not just the people we outreach to, everybody who, there's so many people behind the scenes. We're nothing. We're literally dust. All the community coming in, the donations, the meals that are prepped, the different services in town, the companies or the businesses that work with us. One night we were out and it must have been 11 o'clock we get a call. And and this lady's kids hadn't had anything to eat, nothing. And the school, like, God, our hearts are broken, but we're out of food, we had nothing. This is we're only about a month or two into our thing, so we didn't have the donations we had. Now, we stopped into a local business and like this.
We stopped in because we thought they maybe had some food they were gonna, that was past time and we could pick it up or something. And no, they when they heard it was women and children, they prepared some fresh food, gave us juice, gave us milk, so that those kids not only had a meal that night, but also for something for in the morning before they went to school.
That's the community reaching out, reaching in. So it's not just us out reaching out, it's us reaching into the community, getting us tighter knit, getting us put together, realizing, hey, we might not have the most massive homeless problem, but the thing is that when we're affecting people's kids, now we're affecting that trajectory. What's going to be here? What's going to make them proud to be here like me someday? Keep them out of my shoes that I went into. It's something as simple as us reaching to you, getting the community put into it, and it's just been, it's my everything. I love it. It's our stories were written when we were born. I like to say it, as I know, as I believe, is that I sit here today for a reason, and that reason is to keep going. Get up, put one foot in front of the other, and just march, and just do it, because nothing's going to happen until you cross that first stone. As my grandfather always said, quit skipping stones, Jamie. You're going to slip, you're going to fall right in your butt in that river. What did I do for 38 years? Jump, slip, jump, slip. Here, wow. You take that one stone at a time. So if we just take this one at a time here, one individual at a time, we're affecting, which is directly correlated to this town's image, success, and sustainability is our future, our children. And then getting these parents, these people who some of them have abused some of the systems. Not abused, I would say have went through them, didn't complete them. But now to reach back out to them, to find them, and to get them back into it, and have some accountability, is epic. So I think that's what we both really like.
So when we go out on outreach, there's 4 of us that go. We have a great outreach team. So it's myself, and I'm the caseworker at the Salvation Army, and then Eric Rippentrop, he's the caseworker from the Journey Home. We're 2 of the 4 that go, and then we have another gentleman that goes. And so we are able to provide like on-site casework, and like I said, it's all, and our hope is to build that relationship, build the trust with the people so that we can get them in and start working with them. And, but it's been really awesome to see the community come together, and like I said, it's just important to be out there educating people that we do have homeless people. I mean, in April so far, outreach, we've seen 54 people. And they're not all like living on the street, but they are homeless or at risk of homeless. I mean, homelessness doesn't mean someone sleeping in the street. It could be they're doubled, tripled, quadrupled up in an apartment. They're sleeping in their cars. They're sleeping in unheated garages. They're sleeping, now starting just this last week, we do have some more sleeping outside because when the weather gets nice, of course, there's more that are outside. But, on April 2nd, 6 of the people we saw were new. On April 16th, 10 of the people we saw were new people that we'd never met before. So we are reaching new people, but it is important to keep revisiting those people that we're seeing because it is our hope. A lot of times they've lost trust in the system, or they don't believe that you're really going to help them, and so it's really important for us to keep showing up. To let them know that we're not giving up on them. And sometimes, we know how it is. There's a lot of mental health. There's a lot of addiction. There's a lot of reasons that people are out there. But our hope is to help them with whatever they need so that they can make steps to improve their life. So someday maybe they're going to be sitting here like Jamie is. That's so important that once you're climbing out of it, to turn around and help the person behind you, because as someone who, I haven't lived that, so like when Jamie goes out on outreach, he just has a rapport with the people because he knows where they've been. But do you guys have any questions for us? Because we talked quite a bit now. So is there anything else you want to know?
What does an outreach look like when you meet somebody? Do you ask them, do you provide something? I see on the back here.
Yeah.
Do you have some packs maybe
Yeah,
you give them and stuff?
we do. We take out hot meals,
Okay.
and I will have to think about that for summer, but yeah, we take out hot meals, take out hygiene packs, we take out blankets. In the winter, we take out like the Mylar blankets, we take out the little cooktops you can screw on a propane tank so that in the winter it provides them heat, but in the summer if they're living outside they can cook food on it. I mean, we're transitioning. We'll be taking out bug spray and sunscreen, because if you've never encountered a lot of homeless people, when they come into the office they are bit up with bug bites like you can't believe, and sunburn, so it makes them very uncomfortable. Think about that. We go outside in our yard for a little bit, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't stand these mosquitoes, I'm going inside. Can you imagine sleeping outside all night, what you look like? So, we've done a lot of asking of the people that are living in the situation, like what they would find most helpful. So we're trying to tailor it to what they need, and Jamie's been really good about having that rapport with them to find out what should we pack them. I mean, because when we started to now, we've changed some, because what we thought they needed wasn't really what
And
they
it's not
needed.
just to give them an amenity, it's like, oh, we're not just gonna be handing out, you know, the things that they wish they had. These aren't wants, these are needs type of things, and best thing we give out every week is the casework, getting out there. Food, things like that, yeah, that's a driver, that gets them in, and all those new people we had within this month, a good amount of those were children. So now our word getting out from all these other people now, so now I expect this month to be pretty productive as far as that's going. We've met some very, how should I put it, ambitious folks that are just in some hard spots and have kids. 99% of the time these people will give up whatever they have to make sure the kid has it, or if it's a guy, they will make sure the woman has it. They will, like, there's not even a woman outside, but we'll save it for the women, you know, and it's freezing, 40 below outside, people sleeping in garages.
We met a gentleman this week, and just by chance we met him, and he's like, well, him and his, I don't know, his partner, wife, they hadn't been eating to make sure their kids were eating, and like they took the food we had and they're like, we're gonna take it for our kids. It's like, no, we're gonna give you enough so you can have some too. But yeah. Any other questions for us?
These kids, are they usually pretty young kids, or mixture of all ages, or
All ages.
What do you find?
Really, we have one older one, the oldest of them all, which is just awesome, super good student, doing all the things properly, getting his head right, and not keeping in that mentality of where they're at in the poverty line. And when he sees us, I'm telling you, it's hugs all around. A lot of the people run up the hugs. They just can't wait to see us. We pray with a lot of people. But I'd say the mainstay of it is we don't have many over 10 years old.
No, it's
Not
mostly
many.
elementary or babies.
In that grouping there, all the way from an infant all the way to that age. So, and the good thing in most of those cases are that the parents are actively working to get jobs, and they're on it. They're not just talking about it. So.
And we do have, I mean, since Eric and myself are caseworkers, obviously if we saw a child in a dangerous situation, I mean, we're mandatory reporters.
Mhm.
We have had to call the police, I believe, one time. But, I mean, the other good thing of checking on the people every week when we go out is just to make sure, like, do the kids seem okay? You know, obviously that's I mean, we want to take care of the whole family, but obviously if we saw something that wasn't right, we would call it in, because that is part of our job too, to make sure that the kids are okay.
Keep an avid eye on the women too, and that, for that instance too. Not that we're not looking for the men too, but I know for a fact with these situations come stressful times, which a lot of times it can lead to domestic stuff. So we keep an eye on that, most definitely, and it's a non-negotiable for us. If we see that, that's a wrap. We're gonna deal with it right then and there. So you need to know that. kind of provide a little safety.
So you have a phone number here, if people wanna get involved and,
Yeah, that number on that is, would call my cell phone, it's my work number. And then on the back of one of those cards, we have a number, the 850-9128. That number is actually the Homeless Coalition phone number, that people can call or text us if they're wanting services. And we do provide services. We're out every Wednesday night, but we are contacted through the week, and we will, like, if someone's has a real need, we'll make an exception and go out, like, try to go out. But we, provide, really, all the things that we give out on Wednesday nights are the things that's meeting an immediate need. But our goal is a long-term goal. The meals, the hygiene, all that stuff draws them out to us, and then we start talking to them, and then pretty soon, it's a lot easier to talk to them where they are, because, even for us, like if we're walking into a situation we don't know, it's a little nerve-wracking. Well, if you haven't had a shower in a month, you don't have your clothes, or if you even have something you can put on to go in public, it's hard to walk into an office to see someone. But if we go out, we meet you in an alley and we're talking, and pretty soon we build that up, like, what could we do for you? Can we help you get a shower? Can we get you some clothes? Can we do those kinds of things? And then, pretty soon, then they can come into the office, and then we can start working whatever program, will help them. And there are a lot of good programs in town to help these people, but it's hard to get them to come in, because they've lost trust, they've lost pride in themselves, and it is hard to go into an office when you're like that.
I appreciate about that, seems to be what you guys are striving for, you've said it multiple times, but there seems to be a gap between, here's some services, here we'll meet your physical needs, but then actually getting you out of the situation.
Right.
Mhm.
Transportation, mailing addresses, don't have these things. So when you get out there, go to it. I was lucky enough to sit at a lunch table where these services were provided. I wouldn't take them. So I might as well have been in Antarctica.
Yeah, this guy, he wouldn't even, like, he comes, the first day I told him to come into my office, he's like, he wouldn't even look at me. Like, he sat there with his head down, would not even make eye contact. And, like, we didn't solve anything that day. We didn't solve anything. We just started the journey. We just started a relationship where, like, this is, how many years later is it now?
3.
3 years later, he's sitting here at the table with me as I wouldn't say a coworker, because we were volunteers, but I mean, it's a long process, and the person has to be invested. I mean, our motto in casework, if we're doing more work than they are, then they're not ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Senator Perry.
When does the coalition meet, and how does someone get involved in that? Because there's several people that are listening that would like to know that.
It's always the last Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. at the library. So, and it's open to the public, so like anybody can come. We invite, like the people that we're serving, we invite. A lot of them don't come at the beginning, but I mean, everybody is invited. We have a lot, we're working towards, it would be nice to have a warming shelter or some type of something this winter so that people have a place to go, because you can't imagine the cold people we met this winter out on outreach. There's just no place to go. And motel rooms, if I gave you a motel room even for 2 days, guess what, on the third day you're homeless again, so that's not money well spent.
Yeah. Give you more, not drive.
So, yeah, if any of you are interested to see what our, the Homeless Coalition's goals are, I'd invite you to come to the meeting sometime or reach out to us anytime. We just kind of want to tell you about outreach, and we're really excited about it because we really are reaching a lot of people, and we've seen some positive changes in people's lives, and I think it's just knowing that we care about them.
Yeah, and working with all the other organizations, like, that's the thing, people ask, where can we donate? We don't care if it's us, you don't have to donate, help us pack some meals, help us do this. We can't have people come out on outreach with us, because we need to have background checks, all things, and then yet we're still gonna, kind of stray away from that trust that we've gained through the community. You can't just bring a new face into it and expect people to come and be the same. But all the different organizations that are working together, like we just did for Easter last Saturday, I mean, we had, what, 1,350 kids show up? Something like that. But to have all the different organizations working together when it was, we were gonna do a separate little egg hunt, they were, and when we all come together, yeah, that's awesome. Because no matter what, we're all in this together.
And Aberdeen is very fortunate, if you don't realize, Aberdeen is a great community, or county, great place where, all the organizations really do work together. I mean, it's probably unparalleled in most communities to see so many organizations that we work together, we support each other. If one has a need, the other one tries to figure it out. So it really is a great place to be. So we do thank you guys for listening to us
Thank you for what
today.
you do.
Yeah, you're a testament to the success, so.
I appreciate you guys.
Good luck.
Thank you for sitting at the table. There's a lot of people that come in here and they're nervous and they stand by the door. It means a lot to us and discuss.
We don't bite.
So, yeah.
Well, we're, like I said, we're passionate about what we do, we're excited about what we're doing, we're excited to help people, it really is. Our motto is kinda...
One love, simply. Just, you know, you look up the definition of humanity, you know how much it strays from religion to religion, continent to continent, in a matter of 3 words. 3 words. It's amazing. So humanity is all encompassing. So if we can all be in this, we're all in this together, all as one, and you know, one is love. So we have this. It's been awesome. I appreciate you guys' time.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Thanks for what you do.
Everybody have a good afternoon.
Well, thank you.
You dropped your pen.
That's my favorite one. I'm kind of
headed
now.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, next up, approve and authorize chairman to sign cooperative agreement with the Aberdeen School District for the Juvenile Detention Center.
Move. Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Dennert. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, approve and authorize chairman to send a quote from Huff Construction for the Public Defender's Office remodel.
Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, Dirk Rogers, Highway Superintendent, right away and load limits and bid dates for Sand Lake Bridge. Good morning, Dirk.
Howdy.
Morning.
You guys, you see the right of way was in your packet there for lanes to do, put in a culvert, do a little drainage work, and upgrade a crappy approach for, Pat Keats out at the lake there, so.
Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Dennert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
I didn't hear the order things were in. What's second?
Load limits.
I'd recommend that we take them off Friday morning. We actually we're gonna try harder, thank you. We're gonna try harder to, put some culverts in. We were still hitting ice, frost about 2.5 feet down last week. So we tried one and gave up, but I think by Friday it'll be decent enough. And then to go along with that, we'll switch to 10s. I'm not a fan of being on 10-hour days when we can't, you know, drive everywhere, so we'll go to 10s on Monday. And Friday will be, optional overtime, and go from there. See how things go.
Summer schedule.
Summer schedule. I think the HR report might have a request to hire somebody. Despite my whole week ago when I said we're gonna try to go for a while, there were some candidates that became available, so I at least wanna visit with them and see if there's somebody there that'll, could help us out.
Sure.
Kind of thing. And then the last thing is, I don't know what the day is, 'cause Lynn's got a better calendar than me, but, whenever we were talking about it, we can do the bid.
Yours has different days on it than yours.
Mine only has 8 months, I don't know what that.
It's on last year's calendar.
Well, today was to approve for publication next week,
Yep,
and then we publish, for 2 weeks, and then bid opening will be May 20th.
okay. I wanna do that.
Need a motion? Move.
Motion by Weiss, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
That's all I have.
Was that for bid opening or load limits?
Bid opening.
Bid opening.
That's what I thought. Do we need to
But,
make a motion?
but I'm, if you wanna do a resolution to move load limits to the 20th of May, we can do that too, Drew. That's fine.
You won't be popular, but you can do it.
That's all I got, so, unless you guys have any questions.
For the record, let's have a motion to lift the load limits on Friday. Move. Motion by Dinger,
Second.
second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Does that mean they could burn too now?
What's that?
Does that mean they can burn too?
Yeah.
They could never not burn.
I was going home the other day and I left town going south and I'm looking down there and I'm like, wow, it's been a couple weeks now, but pretty substantial. I mean, it's like a real fire down there, and I'm thinking, it's kind of windy today, and I'm like, God, I hope the egg tiger at Millette's not on fire is what well, then I got down there, and I'm like, I finally had to call down to Spring County, and literally, it's one of their bridge projects. They are out cutting up scrap steel, cleaning up in the 45-mile-an-hour wind, and starting a bunch of stuff on fire, so everybody does it. It's not just burning sloughs, it's
Right.
bridge contractors just as well, so.
Well, last night's rain should help that a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
What about noon?
Well, I was laughing, we had a pretty good jag of snow, and maybe 9 inches, and then the road going to my house, took 3 days and dust was coming off it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got green grass coming now.
That's right, is
Yep.
that quick? Yep.
All right, are you guys all good?
Thank you. Be
We're
safe.
good. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
You good, Carl?
All right,
Good, you're
moving
all
on to the consent calendar. Turn it over to Lynn. Hey, Kendall.
Approval of the meeting minutes for the general meeting of April 15th.
Move. Second.
Motion by Denner, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And the Brown County Board of Equalization meeting minutes.
Move. Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Denner. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Lease agreement.
Move.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Travel request.
Move.
Second. Motion by Denner, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claim assignment.
Move. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Lottery permit for Aberdeen Area Chamber of Commerce.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Abatement.
Move.
Second. Motion by Denner, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Zoning ordinances, set the hearing date and authorize advertising.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And the final plat for the Johnson Airport subdivision.
Move.
Motion by Weiss, second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Is there any other business to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? Had a request from HR to go into... Carl?
I could do one thing,
Okay.
a real short deal. Tonight at 8 o'clock, I think this is okay to tell you this, that there's a meeting at Levity, and it's a live premiere of a documentary called Unearthing the CO2 Pipeline, and you're all welcome to come, and it's again at 7 o'clock, and it'll have some famous people in there, like Bosley, Lapka, and these are people that you've probably seen before, Carla Limbs, Ed Fishback, Randy Schaefbauer, those are some of the ones. I might be in there, I'm not sure. I was there when they did the filming, and they talked to me, but I've never seen my name on anything since then, so I think I was excommunicated or something, but anyway, still come, thanks.
All right. Thank you, Carl. So, request to go into executive session for personnel. and maybe legal. Ross, anything? Okay,
Legal? I'll move.
okay,
Second.
motion by Denner. Motion by Denner, second by Weiss. Going to executive session, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, motion carries, we are in exec. All right, we're back in session, out of exec, no action as a result. Is there anything else to come before the Brown County Commission this morning?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss to adjourn, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, motion carries. We are adjourned.